A live look at Capitol Hill in Washington, where the Senate Armed Services Committee has wrapped up a confirmation hearing for Pete Hegseth. He is U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's nominee to become the next Secretary of Defense. Hegseth is one of the most controversial candidates ever to be considered for the position. Despite strong support from Trump's Republicans, his confirmation may depend on what he says before the committee. The CBC's Peter Armstrong is on the story and joins me live from Washington. So, Peter, what did you hear today?
Yeah, look, this was raucous. It was raucous from the drop, right? We knew it was going to be. Hegseth, he's tasked with an enormous job, Andrew. As defense secretary, he's going to run the Pentagon. He'd oversee like 1.3 million active duty troops, another 1.7 million civilian employees. It's crucial. It's a consequential job. So that all matters, and it makes the allegations that he's facing matter a great deal. He is, I think, as most people know, an Army veteran. He rose to the rank of major, served in combat in both Iraq and Afghanistan. And Hegseth, in his opening statement, said it's time for someone with, dirt on their boots to run the military. But he was accused of rape back in 2017. Hegseth said that encounter was consensual, that it resulted in no criminal charges. There are several media reports that have documented a pattern of excessive drinking, sometimes on the job, one of which led to a sexual misconduct allegation. And Hegseth has made several statements about what he calls an erosion of standards in the military to accommodate more women in the armed forces. He said he's opposed to women taking on combat roles. That led to this exchange with Democratic Senator Kristen Gillibrand.
Please explain these types of statements, because they're brutal and they're mean. And they disrespect men and women who are willing to die for this country.
Well, Senator, I appreciate your comments. And I would point out I've never disparaged women serving in the military. In ways direct, indirect, overt, and subtle, standards have been changed inside infantry training units, Ranger School, infantry battalions, to ensure that
commanders meet... Give me one example. Please give me an example. I get you're making these generalized statements.
Commanders meet quotas to have a certain number of female infantry officers or infantry enlisted, and that disparages those women who are incredibly capable of meeting that standard.
Infantry. Commanders do not have to have a quota for women in the infantry. That does not exist.
So, Peter, this is one of Trump's most controversial cabinet nominations. Is Pete Hegseth likely to get approved?
Yeah, it's unclear, whether he has the votes to be confirmed. But, after the committee hearing, the full Senate's going to vote on this confirmation. And we don't yet have the timing exactly on when that vote's going to take place. But the math is pretty clear. If every Democrat in Senate opposes him, which is probably pretty likely, he can afford to lose the support of just 3 Republicans in the chamber. It looks like most of the Republicans are going to stay on board, stay united. And if so, then yes, he will get that nomination. But it'll be an interesting vote to keep track of.
Peter, thank you. That is the CBC's Peter Armstrong live in Washington.